So what did a dinosaur's butthole look like? Now, here's the thing about the dragons and the dinosaurs buttholes is if you're trying to prove to me that dinosaurs were real, that's like a logical question, right? Like, if you say to me, Jesse, we got dinosaurs, I'm gonna say, oh yeah, what their buttholes look like. And if you can't tell me, then I'm just like, all right, come back when you can tell me what a dinosaur's butthole look like. Not because I'm particularly interested in a dinosaur's butthole, but I just feel like that's a level of identification that is a little better than just finding a femur or part of a toe bone or something and then constructing a whole dinosaur. Like, all right, let me make sure that you guys understand. I'm down with dinosaurs. I believe in dinosaurs. I think there were giant monsters that kicked it on this planet. I really do. And I understand how the half-life processes work with the breakdown of the carbon. Enough to understand that I got no business in a conversation about C14 dating, right? But that's a gigantic leap in a world that is constantly changing. Don't forget, like up until the 1980s, people would have laughed in your face if you would have suggested that the moon wasn't a weird planet that got caught in the Earth's orbit. In the 1800s, they would have laughed in your face if you would have suggested that it was possible for large-scale cities to have existed in the Amazon. Shit, go back to the 1700s, they'd have laughed in your face for thinking large-scale cities could even exist in Central America. So, like, this is like the test. Like, oh yeah, show me the butthole. That should be what is said to every scientist. Show me the butthole. Okay, look, this is a kind of a tongue-in-cheek article that deals with sensitive subject matter. Hey, Amy, I see your comment. Where did you see a pterodactyl fossil before? Damn, can y'all hear the 1109 train? I hear the train coming. It's rolling down the bend. All right. Okay, so this article says, for the entirety of my career as a journalist covering paleontology, I've been wanting to know, what does a dinosaur's butthole look like? When I wrote my beloved Brontosaurus, a book about dinosaur biology, the chapter on reproduction required a lot of time imagining the nature of a Jurassic behind. One had yet to be found preserved. Even dinosaur models and sculptures often demur on the point of the dino butt, leaving the terrible lizards with terrible constipation. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read this. Now we finally have a clearer view thanks to a fossil of a horned dinosaur called Psittacosaurus earlier this month. These dinosaurs, which lived over 100 million years ago in what is now northeastern China, were odd little creatures. Man, look, yo, think how insignificant you are. Think how insignificant you are when there's a news article about the dinosaur's butthole that lived over 100 million years ago in China. And you ain't never, ever had one news article written about you. That's so mind-blowing. That one dinosaur was just walking around having no idea he was sitting on the golden butthole. Let's pick it back up. These dinosaurs, which lived over 100 million years ago in what is now northeastern China, were odd little creatures. While belonging to the same branch of the dinosaur family as Triceratops, these Labrador retriever-sized dinos walked around on two legs and had beaks like those of parrots, cheeks that were each adorned with a flared horn, and, jutting from the tail, a spray of feather-like bristles. Now, we also know that they had buttholes like those of crocodiles. I feel like this is an appropriate time to ask, probably the only appropriate time to ask this question. If I don't know that much about crocodile buttholes, am I going to be able to follow the rest of this conversation? Because is that a precursor, like a prerequisite to, oh my God, I can't even begin to finish this. Hold on. Okay. It's rare to get a look at something soft and fleshy on a dinosaur. We know most of what we know about Psittacosaurus in the same way that we know things about most dinosaurs, from their bones. Durable skeletal parts are much more likely than skin and organs to survive the fossilization process, which involves burial and at least partial replacement of the original tissue. Most of the time after a dinosaur dies, all the soft stuff just decays. But every now and then, paleontologists find dinosaur mummies that preserve remnants of the soft bits, either as impressions or geologically modified pieces of the original flesh. There's no way to make an exquisitely preserved dinosaur. Sometimes it happens when a dinosaur is quickly buried in ash. Others dry out in the open for a while. For whatever reason, experts have uncovered several Psittacosaurus with preserved soft tissues. Look, they just say for whatever reason. For whatever reason, experts have uncovered several Psittacosaurus with the preserved soft tissue. Do you know what the odds are of all the buttholes that have ever existed on this planet? From tiny Labrador-sized Psittacosauruses with their well-preserved soft butthole tissue, to small little mice, to humans, to elephants, to fish, to snakes, to lizards, to pooping bugs, to dropping, plopping birds. And this Psittacosaurus dude and his butthole. They were like, don't give up, butthole. Your day is coming. You're going to be a star. And every day that butthole was like, is today the day? Is today the day I'm going to be a star? Well, you know what? It might have taken you 100 million years old, Psittacosaurus, but today you are a star. So remember that, humans. It took Psittacosaurus's butthole 100 million years old to get a story written about him. If you're 40, 50, 60 years old, and they Google your name and somebody else comes up, don't give up hope. It might take you 100 million years, but you could be a Psittacosaurus butthole level of celebrity. Plus, dude, if you just use the term dinosaur mummies, okay. So it says, for whatever reason, experts have uncovered several Psittacosaurus with preserved soft tissue. What's funny is the question, for whatever reason, is double-edged. Like, for whatever reason, the dinosaur buttholes were preserved, or for whatever reason, these dudes were checking them out. I feel like that could be both, right? For whatever reason, experts have uncovered several Psittacosaurus with preserved soft tissues. The fossilization of some of these specimens is so refined that we even know what color these dinosaurs were. brown on top and lighter along the belly. The new fossil is one of the more detailed ones. It includes patches of skin and scales, as well as the ornamental bristles on the tail. And the most remarkable part is the patch of tissue between the hips and the base of the tail, aka a butt, aka a butt. Somebody should just screenshot that and make that their profile pic, aka a butt. I can't believe we're just continuing to talk about this. Okay, so the actual description of the butthole, which appears in a paper that hasn't yet been peer reviewed. Oh my gosh. Now you got to go find some peers that are also into peering into buttholes, peer reviewed. Like, how do you find that? All right, butthole enthusiasts. I'm looking for a couple people that think they're on my level of butthole enthusiasm. I consider you peers. The actual description of the butthole, which appears in a paper that hasn't yet been peer-reviewed, makes me have sympathy for a dinosaur that probably didn't expect to have its posterior formally presented in the technical literature over 100 million years after its death. On the fossil, just below the tail, the butthole appears as a blackish, mottled ovoid area. Somebody Google ovoid real quick. The paleontologists write, the image is on page 4 of the PDF found at this link. I feel like we should pick that up tomorrow. To the naked eye, the spot looks like a series of dark stacked bands running between the base of the tail and hip bones, clearly differentiated from the skin around it. What those bands mean, the paper tells us, is that Psittacosaurus had a downstairs setup known as a cloaca. This is pretty different than our own mammalian plumbing. While we all know the old joke about a playground next to a sewage system in reference to the location of our own sex organs and waste exits, we've got We've got nothing to complain about compared to animals that have cloaca. This orifice, its very name meaning sewer, is the only opening the reproductive, urinary, and excretory systems. Something to keep in mind if books like Talk Taken by the T-Rex are your jam. Hold on, we got to unpack that whole paragraph. Okay, I just want to challenge this one thing. Well, while we all know the old joke about a playground next to a sewage system, I never heard that one. I thought I knew most of the jokes. I thought I was hip. A playground next to a sewage system. I swear to God, I don't want you guys to think I'm being puritanical right now, but I really have never heard that joke. Okay. And then it says, in reference to the location of our own sex organs and waste exits. I don't think I'm going to be able to come back from that, actually. I guarantee if I would have heard that before, that would have been seared into my thoughts. Like, wow, yeah. You're right. You're right. Okay, this orifice is very, oh my gosh. Remember, this is science. If you guys are like, Jesse, your show has devolved into barely a step above the South Park level of sophomoric jokes. I'm like, bro, this is Slate. The other one I read was in Live Science, but the other one in Live Science was so tongue-in-cheek, I had to throw it away. Okay, this orifice, its very name meaning sewer, is the only opening for the reproductive, urinary, and excretory systems. The only opening, like last chance, everything, like those gas stations in South Dakota where you can take a shower, you can gas up, you can get your taxes done, you can buy throwing stars. You can get deli food, and there's a Subway, but nobody believes in masks. So, anyways, this orifice, its very name meaning sewer, or South Dakota Last Chance gas station, is the only opening for the reproductive, urinary, and excretory systems. Something to keep in mind if books like Taken by the T-Rex are your jam. By itself, evidence that non-avian dinosaurs had cloacae. It's not a huge shocker. To who? I mean, I admit I wasn't shocked, but to somebody it had to be a shock. It's not a huge shock, maybe. I mean, I bet nobody gasped. Some people probably gasped. There's probably some dudes that are really, really into, that are probably really into. You know what, Corey? I don't have the answers, so I'm going to just let your comment ride for a minute, and maybe some other paleontologists who happen to find us in podcast form on either Spotify, iTunes, iHeart, and leave us a review. Like, his dinosaur critique was crap, but yeah. Hey, Adam, South Dakota Last Chance gas station is absolutely a euphemism for dinosaurs' butthole. Hey, what's funny is they have a giant dinosaur there too, so it's not even like a huge stretch. Okay, I got just a couple minutes more to wrap this up. I can't believe I ran through the stop sign for dinosaur buttholes. But I feel like if I didn't do this on Dinosaur Wednesday, Dinosaur Wednesday is more just about bringing to light the fact that people don't know shit. People don't know shit. But they want to act like they know shit, but they don't know shit. People don't even know who built the Sphinx. People can't get on the same page about anything. And yet we argue over anything. It's ridiculous. By evidence, sorry, can't do that line over. All right. 3, 2, 1. By itself, evidence that non-avian dinosaurs had cloacae. I don't know how to say that word, so we're just going to keep pushing it. It isn't a huge shocker to somebody. While it's possible that future peer review might interpret the fossil differently, see, they have 100 million years to get it right, get it tight. And they rushed it. Look at this next line. While it's possible the future peer review might interpret the fossil differently, the placement, color, and wrinkly texture of the tissue all seem to line up with what experts have long expected a dino butt to look like. Living dinosaurs, birds, have cloacae after all. Bird cloacae are round or square and normally covered up by feathers, unless you've ever seen an ostrich evacuate and wondered what the hell you're looking at. Crocodiles and alligators, which are the closest living cousins of dinosaurs, have cloacae that are horizontal slits. According to the form of logic called extant phylogenetic bracketing, if you never heard that word before, extant phylogenetic bracketing, the fact that both birds and crocs have cloacae hints that the trait goes back to the last common ancestor of both groups, a creature called archosaur that would likely have resembled a crocodile crossed with a greyhound and would be present in the extinct animals that fall within those goalposts. A dinosaur butt, we've long known, should look something like a bird butt or a croc butt, which is exactly what I said to Karen this morning. She said, I thought they looked like, we're going to look like bird butts, but instead they look like crocodile butts. And I was like, oh, babe, no. I think that they would both go back to the last comparable mutual butt slash. Who the hell says a toxic sewage system next to a playground? That is so gross. Okay, look, you guys, I know I didn't get into that other planet, but here's the crazy takeaway. Today we talked about two things. We talked about dinosaur buttholes, and we talked about Proud boys that end up being snitches. Two things I want to remind you guys. Every Proud Boy is a sucker. So to think that he's not a sucker. Oh, damn, there's still a lot left on this article. Hold on. So every Proud Boy is a sucker. And if you're a sucker, you're a potential snitch because you don't have the intestinal fortitude that makes badass people, right? And if you've ever cooperated with the state or you ever turned evidence or really you ever even tattletaled, and it's a fine line when that means did you report somebody on Facebook's? Did you report somebody on Facebook's profile as being fake? That's still snitching. Okay, let me finish up this article, I guess, so we can get out of here. I got 2 minutes. How fast can you read about a dinosaur's butthole? We're going to, that'll be a fun game show. How fast can you read about a dinosaur's butthole? And take a breath and an educated guess is great, but firm evidence is better. Having a fossilized dinosaur cloaca actually available for study is like finally getting the pony you were always begging for on your birthday. Hard stop. What? Having a fossilized dinosaur butthole actually available for study is like finally getting the pony you were always begging for on your birthday. The entire end goal of paleontology is to envision organisms as they were in their heyday. That involves drawing from what we know about modern animals and comparing that to the information we have so far on extinct dinosaurs and dinosaur relatives, generating cartloads of hypotheses about what a particular feature on a dinosaur might have looked like, and then testing them against what we are lucky enough to find preserved on the ground. This new fossil tells us that not only were we probably right about dinosaurs having cloacae, but that this species had the same word that resembled those of crocodiles in particular. Though the drain pipe stashed behind it itself were not preserved, the penis in this setup, just so you can picture it, extends out of the butthole during mating. This fossil helps us imagine that dinosaurs might have had croc-like genitalia too. In crocodiles, the female clitoris is so large and pronounced that the pink tapering organs can easily be confused for the male's penis. God dang it, why do I keep reading this? Finding genitalia would go a long way towards filling in some dinosaur mysteries. Paleontologists are still perplexed by how dinosaurs mated with those big, thick tails in the way. Did they have to contort into difficult positions to align their butts, or did males have the necessary equipment to bridge the gap? Likewise, knowing more about the other tubes could make sense of the various splats dinosaurs left behind. Holy crap. You know, I mentioned earlier that this was like the South Park level, but this is like the Critter Christmas one. This just continues to get worse and worse. There are sentences that I said in the last paragraph that now seem tame compared to the sentences that I'm saying in this paragraph, yet at the time I said the sentences in the last paragraph, I was at a gasp level of shocked. Now I feel like I'm so numb to this whole conversation that I'm actually kind of psyched up for this next sentence that I'm about to read. Likewise, knowing more about the other tubes could make sense of the various splats dinosaurs left behind. Paleontologists have reported urolites or pea fossils from a few places, as well as hundreds upon hundreds of coprolites, aka poop fossils. One such fossil, a bone-filled pat attributed to T-Rex, seems to have moved through the digestive system quickly. Having a fossilized excretory tract to study might help explain if a morsel's rapid trip from mouth to cloaca was normal, or if the tyrant king was dealing with some dino diarrhea. I appreciate the author breaking the third wall and explaining to this where their thinking is, but I'm just going to pick it back up as if I'm not taking omnipotent objectivity. I'm having fun here, but even just a little more information about these organs could help experts better understand the physiology of creatures that lived a long, long time ago. This is the reason I've been sharing figure 1 of the paper where the cloaca appears with everyone I know, not just because of the information it presents or the fact that it's cheeky. We're going to drop back now to a serious tone and hope that they wrap it up with a lesson for everybody. The dinosaur butthole is a testament to how wonderful the sheer luck of fossilization can be and how there's so much more detail about dinosaur bodies that could be out there. For all the CGI renderings, toys, and even erotic images of dinosaurs, so much of their basic biology, from body temperature to differences between dinosaur sexes, even what sounds they made, remains unknown. Bro, I got to do this one more time. I got to do this one more time. For all the CGI renderings, comma, toys, comma, and even erotic imaginings of dinosaurs, that's where I'm paused on. Erotic imaginings of dinosaurs. This article takes these tremendous leaps of what they think that everybody is just doing. First of all, no, I'm so far beyond first of all. Holy shit, let's just get through this. I'm going to make this whole dinosaur butt special its entire own episode, and we'll just sell it on the website as a 1-disc DVD special. Erotic imaginings of dinosaurs. Like, okay, erotic imaginings, can we just not? Can we just not? So much of the basic biology, from body temperature to differences between dinosaur sexes and even what sounds they made, remains unknown. Every year, there seems to be another example of a one-of-a-kind fossil that gives us that much more information about dinosaur lives. Even familiar species can surprise, whether we're talking about that fleshy little beanie on the head of the Edmontosaurus, signs of parasitic infection in Tyrannosaurus, or now a Psittacosaurus booty. Surely we're nowhere near the tail end of dinosaur discoveries. You know what? I think I'm going to have a contest. I think I'm going to have a contest where we just push this episode by itself and holy crap. Yeah, we just pushed this episode as its own thing for paleontologists. They can come and correct us. Sorry that I made that kind of promise, but what a great show. And I'm glad we got that out of the way. I'd like to run a contest, though, to see what the single most uncomfortable sentence in that article was. But before I do, I absolutely have to give credit to this author who kept us hypnotized, mesmerized. Riley Black. Shout out to Riley Black. And the photo illustration by Slate is a photo by Robert Nichols, and it's on Wikipedia, apparently. And the actual paper right here is called a crocodilian style cloaca in a non-avialon dinosaur, right? And just before we go, this is what it would sound like written in a normal fashion. Our knowledge of the reproductive biology of dinosaurs covers a range of aspects, from brooding behavior to nesting style and the timing of sexual maturity. Yet the basic anatomy and function of the dinosaur butthole in non-avialon dinosaurs remains unknown. Here, we describe the outer morphology of the only known non-avialon dinosaur butthole preserved in an exceptional specimen of the early diverging ceratosopian dinosaur Psittacosaurus. We clarify the position of the butthole with respect to the ischia and caudal vertebrae and document the scales immediately adjacent to the abdomen and tail. We find that a butthole is from a near sexually mature subadult individual and is mostly similar to the butthole of crocodilians, to the exclusion of lepidosaurians and birds. However, the sex of SMFR4970 could not be determined, as the butthole and the rest of the specimen does not yield any sexual dimorphic information. This study highlights the ongoing role of exceptional specimens in providing rare soft tissues that help to bridge long-standing gaps in our knowledge of the basic biology of dinosaurs and other extinct reptiles. The authors have declared no competing interest. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. And it don't even come close to stopping, y'all. Okay, but we will take about a 22.5-hour break. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget, tomorrow is Thursday. And you know what that means? Bingo, XOXOXOXO. The opera. Bingo, XOXO. The opera. XO. The opera. Okay, Bingo XO. My name is Jesse Sparberg. Hit me with the 5,000 G's so I know you're feeling it, stealing it, killing it. I will be back, I swear to God, like 22.5 hours. I don't even know what time. Oh, also tomorrow night, we're going to do a test run, hopefully, of Strange Game on a Volcano at midnight. The show is officially going to drop the first Thursday in February, but I might do a test run tomorrow if you ain't doing shit, sitting around. I want to personally encourage everybody to go check out What the F is Ladylike, especially if you're a lady. But honestly, if you're a dude, I enjoyed it. It's not just like listening to two ladies talk, even though literally it is listening to two ladies talk. It doesn't seem like it, though. Neither one of them just goes, "Oh, dear, you won't believe the sale I just got on this basket of begonias." And they're like, "Oh, my God, I'm going to throw a coupon at it." And the other lady's like, "Let's go get our hair done and put those robot brain suckers on top of our heads to dry." And they're like, "Oh, girl, we're going to just gossip." And then the other one just snaps her fingers, and then they jump in a convertible and drive off a cliff. It's not like that, even though that's might be what you expect. It's better. I'm a dude. I listen to the whole show. Really, you can find that wherever your podcasts are to be found. And while you're there, you can go find my podcast, which is Coffee and Bong Hits with Jesse, and leave us a 5-star or a 1-star, maybe with a 2-star. We don't really give shit. Oops. Sorry about the church kids. All right. We really are Audi 5000 right now. And remember, if I don't say Audi 5000 G, then that means the monkeys with herpes stole my phone, or the cops got my shit, or I happen to be in the backseat of the convertible doing a live episode when those two ladies who were talking about coupons drove off the cliff. So remember, that is What the F is Ladylike. Everywhere you look for your podcast. What the F is Ladylike? All right. We love you, Heather. Love you, Sarah. See you, everybody, tomorrow for Bingo XOXO. Go to mealexchange.com. I'm running out of shit to say. From me, Karen, and the lunch we're about to eat, and the anteater. All right. 5,000, everybody.